Ladies and gentlemen, today we have quite a few things to go over. We have a strange new game that just leaked out, and I'm a huge fan of this series. I don't know if you are. We also have some new figures for the best-selling Switch games of all time, so I think that would be fun to go over. And then we might have some bad news for the Switch too. So let's just go ahead and get right into this video. I just love the beginning of the week because there's always so much news to go over, and I get to handpick what we're going to talk about today, and this video, it has a big variety. So before we get started, if you could, hit a like and subscribe. We're like 170 subscribers, I think, away from 11,000. So a like and subscribe would be very much appreciated. Let's go and get into the video. So what I'm about to say might sound like a joke. I'm sure there's a bunch of nostalgia attached to it, but I did play this game again this year and I loved it, I think, just as much, maybe even more. I love SpongeBob games. The GameCube is my favorite console of all time. Playing SpongeBob The Battle for Bikini Bottom on GameCube is one of my fondest gaming memories. I probably beat the game like 5 times. So when it was announced for the Switch, it seemed like everybody hated it. I think a lot of people played it who never played it on the GameCube, so it was their first experience, or they're probably like, this is a game you guys like? But for me, there was a lot of nostalgia attached to it, so I absolutely loved the game. Like, I loved the updated visuals, and the controls were kind of wonky, but yeah, I loved it. And any SpongeBob game I can play, I'm gonna play. And today, there's a new SpongeBob game that seemingly just leaked out. Well, I don't know if it's technically SpongeBob. A new open world game starring Patrick Star, developed by Outright Games, has leaked. It's called the Patrick Star Game. What an amazing title. It's coming to all consoles on October 4th. This coming out October 4th, I feel like this can get shown off at a September Nintendo Direct. Description: Patrick fans, your time has come, and Bikini Bottom is your open world playground. And that's what everybody's kind of focusing on with this leak, that this is going to be an open world game. You can skydive with just a parasol, search for buried treasure, or release Rage and Mrs. Puff Rage Room. Use almost any item you can find, from the reef blower to the paint can, and make the world more Patrick. And here's the cover art. At first I thought this was like something somebody made in Photoshop, but I've seen like PS5 versions as well, and yeah, this looks legit. Like I said, if you're not a fan of SpongeBob games, or maybe didn't even grow up with the cartoon, you probably don't care about this. But I have a huge soft spot for licensed games. Like, I love licensed games. And I think I made a video like a year ago saying what kind of games I want to see in the future, and I said I want to see more licensed games because they're fun. Not all of them are good, but some of them are great. So yeah, an open world Patrick Star game coming October 4th. I'm pretty happy about that. And maybe that will become the best-selling Switch game of all time. Yeah, probably not. But we do have new sales numbers for the top 10 best-selling Switch games of all time, and I find it kind of interesting, so let's look at that. Nintendo just put out their big financial report the other day, and there was some interesting stuff in there. Like, I think they even updated the sales numbers for the GameCube, which is pretty funny. So this is the top 10 selling Switch games of all time, and to be honest, I don't see this list changing at all, but it's crazy that almost 10 games have over 20 million copies sold. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, almost 63 million copies sold. Animal Crossing, I know this game was beloved. I know it came out during the pandemic. 45 million copies is crazy. Like, I don't know who the hell is still playing this game. I think that's amazing that people are still playing it, and I'm sure they're probably still updating it. But I feel like the hype came and went, because at one point it seemed like everybody was playing Animal Crossing. And now I never hear people talk about this game anymore. 45 million copies sold is truly remarkable. It kind of puts a lot of pressure on them for the next Animal Crossing game. Like, it's going to have to be massive and so crazy, or people are just going to keep comparing it to 45 million copies. Like, oh, the new one's okay, but it only sold 5 million or something, so that's some big shoes to fill. 32 million copies sold of Breath of the Wild, that's amazing. Super Mario Odyssey, 28 million. Sword and Shield, 26 million. Scarlet and Violet, which is almost only 2 years old, 25 million copies. Super Mario Party, 20 million copies. This is one of the games that are so weird to me, because Super Mario Party sucks. There's Mario Party Superstars. That's the best Mario Party on the Switch, and now there's Mario Party Jamboree coming, so we're getting 3 Mario Party games during the Switch's generation. Tears of the Kingdom, 20 million copies, very respectable. It's only been like, what, a little over a year. And New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, 17 million copies. This was a Wii U game, and this was a Wii U game. Nintendo's got it figured out as far as business goes. Looking at this list and thinking about before the Switch's life is up, I don't think we're ever going to see a change, to be honest. if the new Pokemon game ZA comes out within the Switch's life, maybe that will jump up to the top 10. Metroid Prime 4, even though I think it's going to be a big hit, it probably is going to sell around like 10 million copies. It's still a pretty niche franchise as far as like being mainstream. Like everybody knows Metroid, but a lot of people don't play the games. So the only thing I can see shaking up this list is the new Pokemon game. But that all depends on when the Switch 2 comes out, right? If the Switch 2 comes out sooner than later, these sales are probably going to stop. Unless they bring Nintendo Selects back or something, but when is the Switch 2 coming out? Well, what if it's not coming out for a long time? This is an article that was wrote after the Nintendo sales report came out. First off, what the hell is going on here? This looks like Ellen DeGeneres? What's her name? I almost said DeGeneres. What's her name? Ellen Generalis or something? Damn, I can't remember her name. And then this. I don't know what to say. Nintendo Switch 2 release date could be much later than expected. Nintendo's latest financial report shed some light on the company's plan for the coming year, and it's not all good news. Gaming fans hoping to get a look at Nintendo's new console may have to wait longer than expected. Rumors of the Nintendo Switch 2 have been circulating for the past couple of years. Indeed, fans were half expecting the Switch successor to launch in late 2024, before reports emerged of the console being pushed back to 2025. It's fair to say with the original Switch launching in March 2017, a good portion of the fan base assumed that Nintendo's next console would have a similar release window. That means in order to market the console and set up a successful pre-order campaign, an official reveal would have to take place towards the end of 2024. However, based on Nintendo's latest financial reports for the most recent quarter, the company may have something else in mind. In the April-June earnings report, Nintendo told investors that it hopes to sell a further 11.4 million Nintendo Switch consoles for the current fiscal year ending next March. According to Kotaku, Nintendo plans to sell 13.5 million units for the entire year, but has only sold 2 million consoles so far. While the company can expect a big bump around Black Friday and lead up to Christmas, the figure seems a tad optimistic even with a potential price cut. Unfortunately, Nintendo's lofty ambitions could have a knock-on effect for the reveal and subsequent launch for the Nintendo Switch 2. If Nintendo is to stand any chance of reaching its current sales targets, then you would have to think the Switch 2 won't be unveiled until next April at the earliest. So my initial response is like, no, that's dumb. Of course it's going to come out in March. But then, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo is so focused on hitting these sales goals and breaking sales records that they might just delay it even more. And as much as the consumers want this product, I kind of feel like it's all up to investors and what they want. Like Nintendo may say, hey, investors are kind of getting rowdy and they might start backing out or something, so it's time to release this. Or the investors might think, yeah, we don't really care, do whatever. Whenever it launches, inevitably it's going to be fun, and Nintendo will say, okay, cool, we appreciate it, and we'll sit on the Switch for a little longer. All the way up until, I think, January, we have games announced. And they're not like dumb little games. They're huge first-party stuff. I could see this going either way. But if the Switch 2 is going to come out in March, then I would think December is when they actually set up pre-orders and stuff. And that might make the most sense. You know, people get money for Christmas, people got everything they want. It's like, all right, we've got everything we want. We got all the Switch stuff. We got all of our Switch games. We're good. And then a couple days later, Nintendo says, hey, pre-orders are live for this thing now. It launches in March. And then people are like, cool, I've already got everything I ever wanted for the Switch. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, in the comments below, let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this. Do you care about SpongeBob games? And if you don't, what the hell is wrong with you? And the top 10 selling Switch games of all time. Do you think that list is ever going to change? And what is the real release for the Switch 2? Like, in your opinion, when do you think it gets revealed? And when do you think it gets launched? Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you could. I would really appreciate a follow because we are growing on both platforms and that's really cool. And you guys know me. I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.